Somewhere beyond the recesses of time and space, two podcasters are set adrift in a machine, picking up transmissions of movies that are forgotten but not gone.
Welcome to Movie Memory Machine 5-4, the miniseries where we bring you 5 films thematically related to the movie we are talking about currently, and that movie is Carrie from 2013.
Yay.
I am your host, Landen Solano, joined always by my co-host, Truman Caps. Truman, it's good to see you, even if you're not glad to see this film.
Look, I'm glad to be seen by you, even if I'm not glad to be seeing more about Carrie, parentheses 2013. But you know what? I enjoyed the original so much, and I'm excited to see what other kind of movies are swimming in the same, potentially bloody waters as Carrie.
All right, well, why don't we just get started, and you can tell us what your thoughts are on the original.
Oh, because the first pick is Carrie, directed by Brian De Palma. Yeah, a movie I had not seen ahead of doing the new movie. I made a point of watching this one first before I watched the remake. Very glad to have done that. Yeah, spoiler alert, this movie's good. I think it rules. I think Brian De Palma is, he can have some weird leering tendencies, but I was surprised for how kind of pervy the opening scenes of all these naked girls frolicking in the shower were. How then the rest of the movie actually wasn't really creepazoid stuff and was actually I don't know. I found there was a lot of heartfelt stuff about the relationship between Miss Desjardins and Carrie, and a lot of I don't know. It's a lot of the stuff that I like in older movies where there's just a bunch of slice of life stuff of these teens hanging out, like John Travolta driving around the streets and drinking a beer and then throwing it at his girlfriend because the cops drive by or something. I don't know. Are you not as up on Carrie as I am?
No, I like Carrie in and of itself, and I it's hard to refute its entertainment and performances, especially by Sissy Spacek. And I even like all of the girls in this movie. Nancy Allen and love of my life, PJ Souls is in this, dressing like Mario, like no one would notice.
She's the one. Wait, is she the one who has the hat on all the time?
Yes.
And then
the red
when
hat.
she is getting her hair did, she has her hat sitting on top of the thing that her head is in, the machine.
That's correct. Yep. PJ Souls of Halloween and Rock and Roll High School fame. And of course Amy Irving playing Sue Snell. Just great performances across the board. Really just lived in characters of a type of teenager on screen that you just don't see anymore.
Yeah.
I really appreciate all of them. But there is a certain I don't know. I used to love this film, and I've kind of taken a step back from it, just going, it's a bit aggressive. It's a bit aggressive for the material it's presenting. Particularly, listen, if there's one shot I want to take out of this film, it is the spinning around shot of Carrie and Tommy at the prom talking. It goes on for 2.5 minutes, and it's just they are spinning on a spindle on set, and then the camera is spinning around them, and it just goes on for fucking ever.
Counterpoint. That shot absolutely fucking rocks. It's my favorite shot in the movie. Watching it, I was like, what is this fucking cinematic artistry? I feel like I'm drunk right now in the same way that Carrie surely must, having all of her dreams come true. Cinema is great. Movies are good. Wow, this is the most divisive movie for us. We have completely divergent opinions about Carrie specifically.
I'm not the one to make the argument for what it should be. I just recognize that such an aggro male interpretation of the story isn't the only one that should exist. And I'm not going to relitigate any more about it.
Look, man, I don't want to be too woke or anything, but I think that aggro men can make good movies sometimes too. That's all I got to say.
I mean, yeah, of course they can, but I just whatever. The definitive Carrie to me hasn't been made yet.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. The definitive Carrie. Maybe it'll be the Mike Flanagan series that's coming out.
Okay,
You're such a
no,
huge
let's not-
fan.
I don't even have the energy to go
You're
into
a
the Mike
fan.
Flanagan conversation.
The Flanagan, as they call him.
No. We're not doing it. Let's move on to the next film.
Favorite book is Flanagan's Wake. Okay, yeah, give me the next one.
Now, okay, here's a comparison.
The Fury. What's The Fury? Directed by Brian De Palma.
Okay, this stars Amy Irving about a number of kids who have psychokinesis and telekinesis powers, on the run and being shielded by Kirk Douglas. John Cassavetes is playing a government agent that wants these kids for experimentation.
Ooh.
This is the type of film that I feel like is much better suited to Brian De Palma's style of filmmaking. He is on full bore, like, blowout mode, people on the run, action sequences, thriller sequences. You can get Hitchcock with it. It has maybe the best head explosion scene in film history.
A lot of stiff competition for that, too.
I know, and I recognize with another film that's on, or did I remove it? I might have removed it. Nope, with the next film, which is arguably the best head exploding scene in the film, or in cinema history. Anyway, that said, this is a film that plays very much in the same, like, obviously, realm of Carrie without having to have that tender touch of big feminine themes.
Yeah, this allows him to, like, be a little bit more in his lane where he's not trying to, like, fashion himself into something he's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm up on this. Also, The Fury, just from based on this synopsis and what I'm looking at here, I also feel like this is in the pile of things that the Stranger Things guys were stealing from to make their show.
Yeah. I mean, and Carrie is in that stew as well.
Of course.
But I'm not a Stranger Things person, so I'm not gonna. I don't feel like an authority to talk about it.
Well, you know, it's a rich and hearty gumbo of pop culture properties. Okay, well, what's next?
Well, hold on. The last thing I'll say about The Fury is that this is also based on a book. And this book also has a kind of pulpy delight that I feel like Stephen King's doesn't have. So, like, this story, this film, everything about this is just so much is what it is that I can much more appreciate, its presentation in its many different forms.
Nice. Well, right. Look, I'm on board for that. I love a good pulpy delight. On to the next. Oh, Scanners. Well, you kind of gave that away when you said, like, the best head exploding scene in film history.
Yeah.
I've never seen Scanners.
I mean, nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
For a science fiction film, I mean, granted, it's coming from David Cronenberg, who is, kind of known for body horror, but, like, I've never seen a film that puts you in the physical experience of telekinesis. Like, when there's a bad guy and there's a good guy, and they have to use their mind powers against each other. And David Cronenberg somehow taps into this thing of, like, well, what would it feel like if another telekinesis superpowered individual, like, tried to make my head veins explode?
Oh, God.
And
is that what the thumbnail I'm looking at here is? Is that what's happening?
Kind of. I mean, the more you use your powers, the more just, like, it's putting a strain on your body in a physical way. The head explosion scene at the beginning of this film traumatized me the first time I saw it, and the way they did it is kind of audacious. Like, they actually had someone with a shotgun sitting on their back with it pointed in the air at this dummy head, and it's just visceral.
Nice.
Anyway, just playing in that telekinesis playground, Scanners is the way to go.
I hated it as a kid when my parents would take me to the telekinesis playground. Those kids would throw me around. All my lunch money would get levitated right out of my pockets. Just awful times.
Ooh, yeah. Let's turn Carrie on its head, and everyone with telekinesis powers are the bully, and Carrie's the only one without powers.
So she gets pig blood dumped on her, and she just, like, cries and goes home. No one dies.
Oh man, that just broke my heart. That broke my heart in real time.
We found a more tragic ending to Carrie than the one that already exists.
There's no massacre. It's just she gets no vengeance. She just the bucket kills her.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's so sad. Why did we just do that to everybody?
I don't know, man. The human mind is a powerful thing, as we learned from the movie Scanners.
Oh man. All right, let's move on to the next film.
Oh, Matilda, just like Carrie. Just like Carrie in Scanners. Okay, I mean, this is like, what if good stuff happened in Carrie, right? I mean...
This is kind of Carrie Goes to Hogwarts to a degree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, and what if Carrie was friends with Carla from Cheers, which, I mean, I kind of wonder what if every character from a movie was friends with Carla from Cheers.
It has it's directed by Danny DeVito, and it has that kind of madcap, cartoony world that he lives in. Now, I mean, he has directed so many more darker comedies, blacker comedies than Matilda. This is meant for kids, but it still has that, like, a little bit unsafe around the edges feel to it.
It's the kind of kids movie you wouldn't really get today because it's just a little bit too weird and a little bit too dark for today, but in the way that 90s kids movies could just be unhinged.
I always fantasize about opening up a theater and doing double features, and I would 100% do Babe 2, Pig in the City, and Matilda as a double feature.
That would be a mighty fine combination. I would love that.
But for those of you who don't know, Matilda has kind of telekinesis powers that she starts to realize and use to her benefit throughout the film.
You know, this just goes to show you, if any of our listeners have telekinetic powers and you're not sure how your life is going to turn out, there's multiple paths. It doesn't have to be a bad thing.
All right, shall we move on to the next?
Yes. Oh, Thelma. No Louise, though. Just Thelma. I've
just Thelma.
Never heard of this movie. Directed by Joachim Trier?
Yeah.
Not related to Lars von, is he?
Lars von. No, he is not. This film is, I think, what you want Carrie to be.
Okay,
this is
go on.
It's not A24, but it's got A24 vibes to it. It's darker, and it's like the slow burn of what happens when you start to recognize you have these powers. Now, the thing that I think where maybe the 2013 version fails is more explicitly tying the emergence of those telekinesis powers to her menstruation and maturity into girlhood, which I think the first film does well and the book does. This film is, I mean, it doesn't tie it into menstruation, but it does kind of tie it into, you know, a physical nature. She has seizures all the time, and these weird things start happening around her, and she realizes that she's the one that's controlling them, and the kind of mystery unfolds from there. It's all rooted in character.
Well, yeah, this is okay. Yeah, this is taking a fresh kind of twist on the story of what if a young girl was getting scary powers.
Yeah, which I feel like can describe a lot of films in many different genres.
Seems like what if girls had powers is just a generally popular idea, dating all the way back to witches and stuff.
And you know what? Cotton Mather, the original shitty YouTuber who was trying to dismiss women with powers.
There you go, man. Everything old is new again. All right, what's left?
That's it. That's the last one.
Oh, wait, there's no more? Well, can you conjure a new one with your witch powers? I was on a roll here.
Those are the 5 films for Carrie, 2013, the remake. I recommend them all, actually.
I can tell you, I'm probably gonna try and seek out The Fury over all of them. I don't know if audiences want my recommendation on which of the 5 movies to actually watch, but that one looks pretty cool.
I think you'd actually like Scanners more than any of them, but that's just me.
I really respect David Cronenberg, and I'm so scared to watch any of that dude's movies because he is a true sick fuck, and I don't know if I have an appetite for that level of sickness.
That's fair. Okay, great. Well then, yeah, seek out The Fury. Seek out all of them. They're all fun. I mean, they're all entertaining. They're all good.
Seek Out the Fury sounds like something that the coach in the inspirational sports movie would yell at the team to try and get them to achieve at a higher level.
Oh my god. All right, let's get out of here and see everyone for the mini next time. So for Truman Caps, I've been Landon Solano.
And for Landen and Solano, I've been Truman Caps. Bye-bye.
Movie Memory Machine is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/gruntworkpod to keep the machine running. Theme song by Porky's Groove Machine. Rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. For more information on today's show, visit moviememorymachine.com.